All right. Where's my chat? What's up? What's up? All right. I think we're live. I think we're good. Yeah, need to meet that. I forgot your phone was open. My bad. I forgot to turn on all my systems before I left the room a little bit ago, and I was like, crap, I didn't actually set up for the live stream. So we're good now. All right, let me get some music going in here. I just need to clean a lot of cards for a local buddy who gave me like 50 something cards from his personal collection. Most of it's for binders, some stuff he's got for sale, and I'm just going to give them all a little wipe down, make sure they're clean, and figured I'd go live and do it just because it's going to be pretty time consuming for me and could hang out and just do stuff. Lavish Lugia, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing all right. Oh, and I have the give you one. Give you one of what? Where is my music? YouTube Live playlist. All right. Give you one of the cards you're cleaning. The ones I'm cleaning. There's actually here. I'll go. I'm gonna start with this whole set. I haven't taken a single card out of these top loaders. I don't even know what I'm doing on these or what I'm cleaning. Possibly just dirt, specs, just make them look a little bit better. None of them look great. Just light play, mod play cards. They're binder cards. None of these will ever get graded or anything. There's no point. That's stack one. That is heavy personal collection for me. Oh, let me get the light situation. Now we can see some shine. Any of the Chinese exclusives? I don't personally have any of the Chinese exclusive cards. Maybe one or two, not one I can think of offhand. Holly has quite a few of them. There's a bunch of evolutions, those Chinese sets she's been ripping and doing binders with. All right, I cannot mix up these stacks. Yeah, 17 cards for the PC. That one's gonna be fun. I'd much rather clean like Cosmo Hollows over these old school Galaxies any day. These you just kind of wipe down. There's not much you can do to them. Alright. Everybody hear me good? See good? I'm gonna grab my cleaning stuff, give it a once over, and we can just jump into this. Alright. I can add the puppy cam. If anyone is working on any vintage sets, you can kind of see it down there. I have an entire 4-row full of WotC EX era stuff. If ever anyone's looking for cards to complete binders, I can always pull them out. Just message me on Instagram. We can figure it out. Also have trash can gonna need. And then this right here is pretty much all my cleaning supplies. Little micros. Keep everything clean right now. Anyone work today? Anyone get snowed in? Who had issues with the storm? Yeah, we barely got anything in Charlotte either. I guess all of North Carolina was kind of hit or miss. Do I need my microfiber? No, I don't need not the one you're talking about. Couple more little clean ones out. Alright, we're good. Oh, let me get a need a fresh pack of sleeves, and that's the last thing. Sellers on Etsy selling the WotC set logos. I used to have some of those on the binders. The problem with like the felt vault binders is nothing really sticks to them. You're probably going to have issues with them falling off at some point or another. The only permanent real solution is the people who do like the laser engraves on the binders, which are really cool, but they're also expensive. I had a quote on one. I think it was like, don't quote me on the quote, anywhere between like $50-$60 to $100 per binder to kind of laser engrave everything you want on it. All right, sleeves. $23 in the stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. All right, 23 cards in this stack. Not mixing them up. This stack will go over here for now. All right, I have light. I got cleaning stuff. All right, let me know. I'm just gonna start going to town on these cards, seeing if there's anything that just needs to be cleaned up. This stack, I think he is selling. This was the sell stack of stuff he's gonna put in his binder for sale. This is one of my local friends. I don't do this for, this is not a job. I don't like take orders from people. It's literally one of my local buddies down the road. Most of it's from a childhood collection of cards he's bought, and he wants to get them cleaned up to sell them. None of these are gradable cards to my knowledge. I don't care either way what ends up happening with them. But if I can just kind of take off any dirt, take off any 20 years of grime on them, I mean, honestly, this card doesn't even look halfway bad on it. But we're just going to spruce them up a little bit. I'm welcome to hear anyone and everyone's opinions when it comes to card cleaning. If you're for it, for if you're against it, if you would prefer to know beforehand if you are buying a cleaned card or not, or the extent of what you consider cleaning actually to be. Is taking some either water or some product and cleaning down the face of a card really hurting it in the long run if it's like visible dirt that physically needs to come off? Like, I'm not seeing anything on this card specifically that's jumping out. We're going to try to get a couple of those fine scratches at least to look a little bit better. The products that I use 99% of the time is Kurt's Card Care. I'm sure you've heard of them. I use their actual like buff polish, their recovery that is halfway decent for scratches, and their actual like card cleaning stock stuff. Don't put the stuff on the back. I'll kind of explain as I go, like how I do it. Everyone does everything differently, so I'm happy to hear anyone's side as well. Have I cracked a card, cleaned it, and regraded it? Not personally for any of my own stuff because I'm not a big grader in a sense. Almost all the cards in my collection that are graded are either PSA 1 Mewtwo's. That is like the main thing I collect. I do have a lot of graded cards, but they're mainly 10s, and I have physically graded them myself. A lot of them are more modern than vintage. I feel like you don't clean modern cards as much. There's no real point to cleaning modern cards as long as they are in good shape. They shouldn't have 20 years of grime on them. I have clean cards that have gotten better grades for friends and stuff like that. Again, like the short I posted a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, the Legendary Collection Charizard that got a PSA 5. If you look at that card, I broke it open. There's literally a black booger or something on it. That's, I don't know when it was graded, but somebody sent it in with literal dirt on it. It got a 5. It was worth higher than a 5. I cracked it open to put for my binder, but there's literal grime on it that the grading company's looking at and knocking you off for the card being dirty. And I mean, you might as well clean it before sending them in. Forgot my trusty light as well. So short answer, yes. Long answer, no, not for my personal cards because I don't really have any vintage cards in my personal collection that are graded that I haven't I don't send in a card like this that can potentially get a 6, 7, 8, or even a 9. I don't want it graded. I'd rather have it raw. Donnie, there's a lot of Gengars. You want that one, Donnie? That's a good Gengar. All right. Oh yeah, there's first Ed Fossil over here too. For some reason, I have a ton of Gengars on my desk right now. These are all Max. Jimmy, if he's in the chat, I don't see him though. Anyways, starting finally. First thing, if you got a card, again, bad example because this card is super clean. It doesn't really need anything. First thing I typically do is just wipe down the entire face of the card itself, front and back side. There's maybe a little bit of grime right there, but it's barely anything. Yeah, not much I'm seeing on this card. Always good to have some sleeves. I typically have a sleeve down when you go face down when it comes to the hollow, just so you're not putting a hollow on anything that could potentially scratch it. Especially you don't want to like move the card around a lot when it's face down, or even the other way around. Just don't move it around much at all. I usually have a nice plastic, this is like one of those acrylics flat surface, just so you also don't have like a bumpy top, because my desk has an actual leather top to it, and it's not 100% flat when you're doing anything with it. So the cleaner stuff, I usually do a spray or two. Need my trash can here. So I just spray or two onto a little microfiber round. Let it air for just a second. and then I usually just fold it up and just kind of lightly go against whatever spot you're trying to hit. There's really not a lot going on this card, so I'm not going to put the little alcoholic whatever. I don't even know what's in this. Some percentage of alcohol because you can smell it. I don't want that dispersed all over the cardstock. If you do a lot of it, you can discolor the card because you can actually mess up these cards by messing with them too much when it comes to product. So literally, you're just looking to try to take off any type of surface dirt, anything there that might not be seen or you can see. These are super handy as well. So if you spray a little bit on this and like that spot on the backside, that the one little thing that we're seeing right there, kind of right there, and get it in that right light. I got an LED on the desk here just so we can kind of pinpoint things. So that little smudge right there, we're going to spray a tiny little bit on the tip. And gently just touch that area. Never go hard, never go heavy, never try to eat into it. If it's not wanting to come off, 90% of the time I'm just going to end up leaving it if it's not something that can easily come off. So you can still kind of see it there. Might just stroke a little bit more on there. But all I'm doing here, I'm not trying to take these cards and turn them all into tens. I'm just trying to make them look clean. This is already super clean card, so we're just gonna, now that the front and back has just been wiped down, I'm gonna take one of these, clean. I'm not even gonna use, I'm gonna probably do one application of the recovery first. Depending on the severity of the scratches, you can do multiple applications when it comes to the recovery first, and then I finish it up with the actual polish stuff after. Always make sure whatever you're putting on, you do wipe off very well. You don't want to leave any type of residue, any type of whatever application you're putting on the card, you don't want to leave it on the card itself. So starting with the recovery, and what we are doing is we're just going to cover the surface of this card. It does have some fine scratches in it there and there. They're not going to come out 100%, but they might end up looking a little bit better once we're all said and done. All right. So very lightly, I usually apply the entire surface of the hollow first. Make sure there's no dry spots. And then I just do a little circular motion. Not even, I wouldn't even call this like a medium press. You're just rubbing it across the surface, and I am just cleaning that hollow up. So the stuff I am currently using is the recovery. The recovery is what's supposed to help the scratches a lot more. At least fill them in and look a little bit better. And then always start your projects with clean tools. I usually only use one applicator per card and try to sparingly use like the microfibers to clean them off. So again, don't leave any product on the card. Give it a few wipe downs, get into the actual card stock itself because this stuff can spread. And then when you actually look at it under the light again, you can usually tell if there's like product built up on it. You'll be able to see like a shadow on the card. So on pass one here, we got a lot of the got all the product off of it. Those deep scratches that you're seeing in the top left, really not much is going to happen there, especially for time and speed. We're not going to spend 20 minutes on every single card trying to make them perfect when these again are just going to be binder cards for him or whatever he ends up physically doing with them. So I'm going to try one more pass on the recovery, and then we're just going to do one pass on the actual like buffing agent. I think the scratches were up and down, so we're going to do more sideways and try to get into those scratches. So I always try to go opposite of the scratch as well. You can wear gloves, you can not wear gloves. I wash my hands really good before doing this. Last thing you want to do is put like the oils from your fingers on the cards anywhere. But I always give them a wipe down, let them dry up first, and then I'll put them into a sleeve later. Focus on the Gengar. Those big scratches that we're seeing, they're not getting any better. They look maybe a little bit better, but the overall card, you can definitely tell it's a lot shinier now. Like all of that Galaxy Holo is popping off. I have not done any vintage first eds yet outside of the ones I already have. So basically, all of my childhood collection from the first eds that are in there, every first ed in any of my WotC binders is from my childhood. I did not purchase or trade for any first eds after the fact. So it's the only way I can tell like what my childhood cards are from the cards I've gotten recently in the last few years. Now the actual polish, this stuff, if you use too much on the card, it will build up quick, it will dry quick, and you will have like shadow spots on the hollows. Um, Clean it off. Do not be overly sparing with what you're using, and then make sure you wipe down and actually like press a little bit harder with the microfiber when it comes to cleaning off this stuff. You don't want to leave a buildup. Really, the long-term effects are yet to be known. This could potentially hurt cards down the road. I kind of doubt it at this point. It's been around long enough. But again, less is more when it comes to these cards 90% of the time. So that's it. We got one card down. I'm just going to make a pile over here to let them kind of air dry. Oh, and always I can run a microfiber or just run your fingers over the edges and just make sure you don't have any product just chilling on the edges either. And then look for spots like that. So these are buildup of the product that may have lipped over while you're cleaning the front. Sometimes flip over that clear sleeve you're using and then just lightly press and get it cleaned. It'll come right off. So it's always good to have like an LED light like this as well when you're actually looking at the cards after the fact, because some of that stuff you can't see with the clear eye. Have I tried Miracle for cleaning? Oh, what's up, Collector Quest? I don't think I've had Miracle. I've had that's Kurtz. It's this one. The only other stuff I've physically have tried is the TCG Card Care. I think that was the first cleaner I tried years ago, and then I ended up switching over to Kurtz. But I haven't actually done. I haven't. I've seen Miracle. I haven't actually used Miracle. Is it pretty night and day difference? And just like that, we got another Gengar. And it is a waste of plastic, but I do like using a new sleeve for my base here. I don't want to put a card down in another card's dirtiness. Alright, let's check this one out. This one's got a lot more scratches on it. Alright, so this is going to be a much better example to see how well the product actually does. This thing, I would call this hollow cooked. I mean, every little square inch of this card is scratched up. And then it really gets down to the point, like, I wouldn't spend money to do this unless you were doing it yourself. Like, I would not send a card like this to somebody to have them clean it for 10, 15, 20, 30 bucks. This is just me personally. Do whatever you want with your cards. But like a card like this, it's a great binder card. It's going to look slightly better, but it's still, at the end of the day, I would call this heavy play. I mean, you got Lightning full 360. It is a Gengar, so it's going to carry the Gengar tax. But I mean, that hollow looks like you took a sandpaper block and just went over the entire card. But if he wants it cleaned, I'm going to clean it. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, because that hollow is cooked. Well, let's see how better we can get it. Overall, the card doesn't look that dirty. It's just seen a lot of wear over the years. No big spots jumping out to me that need to be, like, cleaned off the stock itself. And there's no fixing Lightning. There's there's nothing you can do to that at all. Alright. Let's clean the cook card. One wet side, one dry side on the little micro round. Light pressure. All I'm doing is just trying to get any loose debris or dirt up. And I never go heavy on the backside. Again, clean at your own discretion. If you try doing any of this yourself, don't hold anyone else liable. Practice with bulk. Practice with cards that if you screw it up, you're not going to care. And I would say practice it once, twice, 50 times before actually trying to clean a card that holds any type of value to you, or whatever you're trying to do with the card, any type of, I guess value is the only way to put it, but if you screw it up, the only person you have to blame is yourself. Or just don't clean cards at all. It is completely up to you. So, outside of the cards, a little bit cleaner now. We're going to go in first with the recovery. And it's same principle as buffing, waxing a car. Take what you got, disperse it all first before actually making your cleaning strokes. You don't want to be stroking with a dry ass applicator on a dry card, especially if you hadn't cleaned it first and there's dirt on it. So everyone just saw how bad this card was just a minute ago. Let's do 2 or possibly 3 rounds of the recovery, 1 or 2 rounds of the polish. and see if we can take it from like a HP scratched front to even mod play. As long as it's just popping more and it's going to look better in a binder. Notice you go through a lot of vintage. I always wondered what is LP, MP, and damage. I felt like, I mean, obviously, if you know what they're short for, light play, moderate play, heavy play, damage condition. I feel like, and granted, TCG player is the monopoly holder here. They are the ones more or less saying, wait, this is the clean one. How to condition the cards, and it'd be easier if I actually had like TCG player up on my computer screen here. This card, I would deem, in my personal opinion, I would deem this like mod play minus heavy play plus. There's no physical damage on this card, but the holo is absolutely cooked. We just did one quick pass. I haven't even finished like wiping it down 100% yet, but we just did one quick pass on the holo, and all of the card itself has whitening on it. So get it to focus. Your entire bottom is white. Your entire right side is white. The entire top side. If you have a full like 360 of whitening on the back, a scratched up holo really bad, I still would think that TCG player deems this as moderate play, but this is like a heavy play card to me, in my opinion. There's just way too much going on to call it that moderately played. My polish is not wanting to work right now. There we go. First time years ago, sprayed too much of the debris cleaner and completely separated the layers. Yeah, you will have that. Debris cleaner as in like this stuff? Like the stuff with actual like alcohol content in it? Alright, Gengar, come back to life. Yeah, same stuff. Yeah, definitely. Like I've said millions, few times tonight, do not go heavy with this. Go super light. Spray it onto something else first, like like an applicator, uh, microfiber around, just anything, and then just go very light on the card itself. Also, make sure you're not getting liquid buildup or any of that stuff in between the card stock, because that part right there is going to start separating it as it sucks it in. It's going to suck it into the card stock in here, and then your card stock itself is going to actually like open up. How much costs Lugia Neogenesis Italian Unlimited? I couldn't tell you on that one. I would just say go to eBay last solds and see if there's any comparable. That very well might be a pop one or two anyways. So whatever a comparable sale is for that. Is this card even getting better at this point? It's making the holo pop more, but these scratches are just... Those are deep scratches in the stock. Or if anyone has any better tricks that I'm physically doing, feel free to shout them out. So when it's on there, you can see the brush strokes. You can see how like waxy it's looking. Sometimes it's good to let it dry for a half second, but you just don't want to let it dry like a ton. And then clean off every square inch. And some cards are just not meant to be saved. Now, in a fresh sleeve, few inches back, in a binder, it's gonna look like a nice shiny card. But you get this under a microscope, or just plain look at it with your eyes up close, it's got a lot going on there. A lot of scratches. It might have fixed some, it didn't fix them all. Alright, Hitmonlee, first dead fossil. Not as bad as that Gengar, but also not great. Mod play is how I would deem this. You got chunky chunks on the side, light or right side whitening. That looks kind of hard to tell, but that looks like maybe a chemical has eaten into it a little bit. Not specifically like a cleaning product or something, but it just looks like the ink is very faint there in the border. You can kind of see it right there how the white is starting to show through the blue border. But more whitening at the bottom. Scratched up hollow. I don't know. I think TCG would still be light play minus on this. I would call this a mod play card all day, though. What what would you guys call this card condition wise? I mean, I've seen this condition be called near mint before in people's binders, and it's just like, why? Yeah, so mod play, light play. Would I be interested in Umbreon Hollow Skyridge Italian? Probably not. I appreciate the offer, though. Chris, what's up? I got like 50 cards I need to clean for a friend, so figured I would just go live and do it. Now this card's actually reacting a little bit better than that Gengar. I think the Gengar, it depends on the severity of your scratches, like how deep they are. But this one, after one pass of the recovery, is actually looking a lot smoother. If you need any help, Chris, just let me know. I can get out bends and stuff pretty efficiently these days. This one used. Yeah. All right, yeah, just let me know. That, or if you want me to take it home after Collecticon next weekend, and I can just mail it back to you or whatever. Just depends on what it is or what the severity is. I think you've showed me it before, though. All right, these cards that really don't need much, we're just going to kind of go quick on and not spend 5-10 minutes. But overall, still some light scratching. But let me know let me know in the comments if you can actually see a big difference, if any, on any of these cards that we're doing. So this was just one pass of recovery, one pass of polish. Made sure we got all of the extra product off of the stock, but overall it's just cleaner looking, shinier looking at least. The holo is a lot more reflective, I would say, in the light. You can tell when it's like dull when you first start to how it starts reflecting the light after the fact too. Yeah, just let me know, Chris. If you need me to send it to the PSA or whatever, I can do that too. I actually just got email notification like 10 minutes before I started the stream. A PSA order I have out for a friend, which has, I want to say there's like 50 cards in it, but a good chunk of them are my Mewtwo's. They're all going to be PSA 1s. Hopefully I didn't get a bunch of 1.5s and 2s, but I'm not looking at the grades yet. I'm going to wait till they are back next week, and I'll do a blind reveal when it comes to the opening of the box. All right, we got 3 cards done. Next up is going to be Kangaskhan First Ed. Seems to be all First Eds in the stack. A little hair on it. One of those other cards, Light Play Plus, or Light Play minus Mod Play Plus. I mean, there's Whitening. I would say this is pushing more Mod Play. No dents or dings that I'm seeing. Pretty heavy silvering though. Yeah, I would call this Mod Play all day. Like, the side's pretty chewed up. Bottom's pretty chewed up. Whole card's just kind of chewed up. Still a First Ed Kangaskhan though, so still a cool card. But absolutely no point to grade it. Or who am I to say that? Because I guess anyone can grade for whatever reason they want. If you want to 4, 5, 6 and just have it in plastic forever, be my guest. Great as you please. I just think a card like this just belongs in a binder. First pass recovery. Definitely shinier. And that's all we're going for here. If it can look amazing and sparkle in the binder, I think that's his only goal at this point. Better? Worse? Any input? If that hollow's popping, that's all I'm going for. Oh, just a reminder, if anyone's in here and working on any sets, we have the entire bulk box down here. Wizard of the Coast, into the EX era, mainly bulk cards. There's not really any hollows in there outside of some EX reverses, but if anyone's looking for anything, just let me know. Vaporeon. Okay, everything he gave me is like a cooked hollow. Alright, here's a good one. This has actually a lot of dirt buildup, debris, mildew, whatever it actually is on there. So this card has tons of black spots. It's also in horrible shape. That looks like a pinch line on the right side too. You can kind of see the separation of light between the dark blue and the white blue. Usually because it's dented. Yeah, it looks like it starts, the dent starts there, and it's kind of like got a fold in the side itself. You can kind of see it go all the way down. But let's start on the back side, see if we can get some of this just black dirt and specks off. Have I ever graded a card? Yes, I have graded cards before. I've graded with every company, PSA, oh not every, PSA, CGC, and Beckett, or the, oh, and AGS. I've graded with AGS years ago as well. All right. A little spray on the micro round. Just going to go lightly onto the card, see if we can get any of the initial dirt off. Backside is dry. It doesn't look like it got any of the little black dots off. So what we will do, almost all those little black dots are still there. So they might need a little extra motivation. I like using these. I have like a tiny little fine point there. And I just spray the tip with this. And every time I'm going off screen, I spray directly into my trash can next to me just so this doesn't spray everywhere. How hard does PSA take centering? I mean, it's pretty, they take that into account pretty heavily. What is the current standard for fronts? It's like 55-45. I mean, it needs to be pretty centered to get at least. Are you talking about trying to get a 10? Like, is the card perfect outside of centering? All right, we got some of them out. Card has nothing, so like no whitening, nothing like that. Besides like a 70-30. I mean, if it's a 70-30 on the front, you're probably gonna auto 9. Like they're probably not gonna give you a 10. They are more lenient when it comes to the backside. The backside can have worse centering than the front, but the front is what holds the most weight when it comes to the card's grade. And it's kind of hard to tell from how I'm doing this, but I am doing super, super light strokes here. I do not like going heavy onto the cardstock because the heavier you go, especially when you have any type of like lubricant or product on there, you can start eating into the ink, and once the ink's gone, the ink's gone. Still some faint remains. It's even hard to see it. Like how I'm looking at it right here, it kind of looks like a lot of those have popped off and gone, but the second you put it under my LED light that's on the desk here, things are going to jump right back out. So there's still some bigger little pieces on this card. I'm going to switch to a new one and do another one little light spray. Drew, what are you shooting for here? Like, were you ideally hoping that it gets a 10? Are you okay with a grade lower than a 10? Like, are you grading just to grade for your PC where it doesn't matter? Or are you trying to get a 10 in this card and then potentially, like, sell it down the road or what? Because if it's a card you pulled and you just want to grade it just so it's graded, I would literally say just grade it. And then whatever comes back as, don't care as much. But if it's a 70-30 front and you're trying to grade it to potentially sell or something, then I would probably say don't grade it because you're going to spend money on it, and then probably would come back a 9. And then if you end up breaking it open to sell it raw at that point, what was the point to start with? All right, getting a lot happier with this. Most of these tiny little black dots have been here for 15, 20 years, so it takes some time sometimes just going back and forth over it. You're going super light, you're using a little bit of the product, but you don't want to saturate the card. You never want the card wet. You just want it light enough that it starts reacting with whatever the dirt is, and eventually your little cotton swab is what's pulling it off the card. So that little spot right there is the only part that hasn't come off yet. I'm going to try one more little second on it, and then we're just going to move on to the front and call it a day. All right. I'm not going to waste all the time on it. But it is night and day difference better when it comes to all those little black dots. So, like, the amount of cards that I've seen physically graded that have tiny little black dots all over them from dirt, you could do this with a Q-tip and some water and get that stuff off. And, like, the people that are anti-cleaning cards, like, is that really that bad just to clean off some dirt from the backside of the card so it would potentially get a higher grade, or clean the dirt off your card because you do want to put it into the binder and you want it looking as best as possible while it's in the binder? But I mean, there's so many things on this card that it's got bigger issues than just the dirt. Like, there's no fixing all this whitening. This card is still going to be a heavy play, mod play card at the end of the day. Just going to do one pass to the recovery, and then we will finish this one up. A little shinier. It's still just another one of these cards that have scratches all over it. I mean, you could spend some more time on it. You can get it a little bit better, but it's just a cooked card. At least all the black dots are basically gone off the backside. New here. What am I putting on the cards? Here, I can... The polish is Kurt's Card Care. It's all Kurt stuff, but this is the recovery. This is mainly for scratches, fixing like the finer scratches. And then this is the cleaner product for cleaning the actual stock, getting the dirt and grime off of it. We just spent a little bit of time trying to get all the little black dots off of the back side of the card. And then cleaned up the hollow a bit. Looks better, but once you start zooming in on it, you can definitely see all of those scratches. But from 6 inches back, great binder card. I got like 50 cards here from one of my buddies that asked me to clean them all. So none of these cards are mine, but yeah, this whole stack is just Galaxy stuff. Here's some with some Cosmos. Let's do some Cosmo cards, switch it up. Because I think this is all... Yeah, none of these are Cosmos. Alright. So this is the Zapdos from Fossil with the Cosmo Hollows. Both of these are. These are the deck exclusives, I believe, from... What is it? The Thunderbolt deck? Thunder something deck. But they came exclusively on the English side with the Cosmo Hollows in the background. This card doesn't look too bad. Maybe just a couple blemishes there on the card itself. Something going on right there. We'll just wipe that down. Front side looks pretty good. Little black dot right there. Looks like there's some chipping in it. Yeah, right there. See those like little pinpoint holes? Something was pressing up against this card for a while. Now you can also potentially get those out. That's going to use like a humidor box. It might try to pull the stock out with a little bit of moisture application, but that's not what we're doing here today. Yeah, there's just like smudging on the card that you can see. Overall holo looks pretty clean though. So finally a decent holo that's going to react well to the product. What's up, Drew? Read your last comment. The Gold Zard. Gold Zard hoping for a 10. Like I said, if it's got a 70-30 front on it, then you don't have the greatest shot of getting a 10. I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen worse on 10s. You can take your gamble, but then the second you have a bad corner or surface or something else that you're not seeing, you're just it's an uphill battle to get a 10 at that point. So you always hope for the 10. I try to, if there are cards that I have sent in for grading and I know they're not going to 10, and the only way I want the card is if it actually 10s, I typically don't send the card because you're just going to spend 20-25 bucks with shipping and fees on I'm assuming a card that's worth sub 500 or whatever the lowest bulk standard rate is right now. You're just going to be wasting money. And then you get upset, and then then you're like, oh, I don't like PSA because they gave my card a 9, when realistically from the start it was a 9. Like it's if you would be happy with the 9 at the end of the day, then grade it all day. I'm not afraid to use the polish on the actual front cardstock either. It does clean it and give it a nice little buff and shine. Trying to see if that little dot ends up coming off. Now this hollow looks so much better than the ones we've been working with here recently. There's not a million scratches there. Using some of the polish actually makes the Cosmos pop heavy. Like, and that's what I was saying with the hollow's popping. It's just those scratches that are so heavy on some of these cards, they're always just going to be there. But when you don't have heavy scratches and you got the hollow popping, you get that like reflective mirror shine when it's under the light. So now you got a nice minty hollow. I missed a tiny little spot right there. Again, look it over under the light. Make sure you have no buildup on any of the stock anywhere. You don't want to see any like shadowing. You don't want to see any product buildup. This card has a lot of those tiny little dots. I don't know if those are binder dings or what. And have another one right behind it. This one has more finer scratches. This one I think is going to react a little bit better than the last one. If you can tell, like right there, there's also some like cloudiness in the hollow. Dirt and grime buildup from over the years. A lot of scratching in it, so we'll see if any of that gets any better. Card itself also looks kind of smudged, so if you can see that, almost like a humidity. Let's look at the backside. No, I'm not seeing any like heavy humidity damage. Just a little bit. When the card looks like cloudy and hazy on it, it's basically it's been in a garage or an attic or just a hot space with humid air for a long period of time. So you get those cards that are just completely cloudy. And there's not a ton you can do there. Sometimes they're cleanable. Sometimes it's soaked into the card stock so much it's almost like stained the old colors of the card. We'll just do a quick pass over this and just see how it turns out in a sec. I can see some of the dirt coming off the top area. Overall better. Might do another pass. There's like a little line spot right there. It just might be oils, smudging, stains, who knows. better, still there a little bit. Anyone get any bad weather the last couple days? I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we got like nothing. We got the heavy ice of it, shut down the roads, but we didn't get like any snow or anything there. Just gonna go over the hollow with some polish. See if it just turns out fine. More of a mirror finish now. Cosmos be popping. Really wish all of Fossil and Jungo were in Cosmo Hollows like the rest of the world. It looks so good with Cosmos. Got a Clefable up next. I wonder if this means it's actually HP. A little price tag of 15 bucks on it. Maybe that's how he bought it. Maybe that's how he's trying to sell it. Looks like a dent in it. Oh, come on. Yeah, I mean this is HP damaged. I'm not sure if he thinks I'm a miracle worker, but this is not getting any better. If you have a card like this, don't expect this to be better. That whitening all the way around. Granted, there are little black dots all over it. Those can come up. There are people that can fix creases to some extent. Like, what's the overall goal there? It's like you're trying to take a 3-4 Clefable and maybe you're hoping to turn it into a 4 or 5 if you're going to grade this again. Like a red dot on it. Not sure if that red dot's coming out. Might actually be ink. Huh. These cards that are just overly cooked, we are gonna give it a spit shine job and just go quick. Look how bad the siding is. I mean, this is true HP damaged. Is 15 still accurate for like an HP first edition Clefable? I might put this one aside. I don't really want to spend 10 minutes right now trying to get all these black dots off of a card that's not going to look really any better at the end of the day. Alright, we're going to start the touch later pile. Another card with potential humidity damage all over it. All that hazing you can see at the top. Ton of whitening. I mean, there's missing ink right there in the back hollow, or the back Pokeball. There's a smudge in it too. A little bit of both. Alright, these are the kind of results we were looking for. All the little black dots that were in the corners, or in the yellow borders, one more right there maybe. All of those have basically come right out after just a little bit of application and the swab going at it. Alright, all the black dots are gone. $31. So one quick pass of the hollow, one card stock wipe down, emphasis on all the black dots, and then you have a solid binder card. As long as all those tiny little black dots aren't showing in the border now, those aren't going to jump out in the binder, and the hollow itself is just shining a little bit more. All the little stars are showing. Is it perfect? No. The backside's never going to be perfect. But if you're doing a Fossil Master set, Unlimited ends up being a great copy. You're not seeing the backside and you got a nice clean front. I'm try to get a little bit of that smudging out of that top border. Alright, Raichu, couple of black dots right there. So I'm just going to run quick. I want to address those. The rest of the border looks good. Hollow looks really solid already. One quick pass, just make it pop. Nothing really specific. Now, the card is warped pretty heavy. It's got a backwards warp to it. Put it under some like flattening plates, a book. You can get that right out quick too. Backside's pretty clean. So this is one of the cleaner cards, at least, from the stack. Let's try to get those couple black dots in the corner done. All right. Top left corner, black dot's gone. And if you ever buy these, buy like the 200 count on Amazon. You don't really want to reuse them every time you do a card. I usually just do 1 or 2 cards if I feel it's clean. But you never know when you might pick up a piece of dirt on one card and then go to clean a hollow on another card and just drag that piece of dirt across the hollow. Hey Grayson, yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's been a good day. It's been a snow day here. Had some cards to clean for a friend and figured I would just do it on a live. Alright, we got a shiny looking hollow. No more dots in the yellow. Something going on top. I think it came off. That's it. Couple minutes on the card. Turns to a nice binder card again. Yeah, no, Grayson, I saw your comment. Hey, hope you're having a good day too. Alright, Raichu number 2. Seems to be a pair of every single one. A lot more chewed up border. Not seeing as much when it comes to like the black dots. Like those black dots I can't do it. The chipping you can't really do anything with. We're not out here painting cards. We're not here altering cards. All we're doing right now is just getting the dirt off, getting the grime off, making the hollows pop a little bit more, and calling it a day. Whitening is what it is. Let's do a quick wipe down. Looks like there's something maybe right there in the stage 1. Yep, a little black dot came off. I saw it on top of the cotton tip. Not really seeing anything on the back to even address. If it's so minimum, sometimes I just leave it because I don't feel like putting product on a little millimeter spot that no one's ever going to see anyways. Quick and easy. Another Raichu done. All is poppin'. Will be an excellent binder card. One of my favorite arts from Jungle. Of course, there's 2 of them. Why wouldn't there be 2 of them in this stack? There's not a good condition card in this pile. Something going on right there. It might be marker. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this might be like marker or something. quick one passer on this one. I just love this artwork. Pidgeot in all his glory. Another Pidgeot right up. Border looks okay-ish. Might be cleaner than the last one. Bunch of little white dots on this one, not black dots this time. Good chunk of whitening. Quick wipe down. That's all it needs, really. Start on the back side and address a couple of those white spots. See if they pop off or they're just in it. Sometimes you spend 4, 5, 6 minutes going at a little dot or something thinking you can get it off, and it's just in the stock or in the ink, and there's no getting it out. One right there too. Another one done. that's like chipped up right there. Not seeing anything on the actual card itself. All right, clean front. Alrighty. Got another Pop and Snorlax. The one and only, actually. Why is everybody saying said hi? Yeah, I'm assuming my audio works. Can somebody just chime in and say, yes, you can hear me? Pretty sure I've said hey to everyone back that's commented. Jade, Grayson, y'all hear me? Alright, Aerodactyl. Border looks fine. No black dots, mildew. Back looking halfway decent. Little white dot right there might just be some dust. It was some dust. Came right off. Quick wipe down and on to the next. Your binder that has Rocket, Gym. Oh, no, it's not overloaded. Like, it fits. There's cards every... I know exactly what you're talking about. The binder itself is not overly full for having cards on every single page all the way through. It's not affecting the cards or anything. I do store the binder standing up, so it's standing like vertically next to other binders, and I feel that puts a lot less. I never stack my binders because of how full they are, because I don't want any like extra added weight on them or anything. It is my only set that's actually in a 9 pocket. Just because, I mean, it fits perfectly in the 9 pocket because of the way the sets were actually flipped out. That and those three sets specifically fit perfectly in just one regular vault binder. What's up, Jeremy? Favorite vintage holo card? That is a very, very difficult question to ask me because I have way too many favorites. I don't even know how to answer it. I love Mewtwo, so it's probably going to be a Mewtwo card. Either like Team Rocket Returns EX. Looking at my wall of Mewtwo's right here. Either like Rocket's Mewtwo from Gym Challenge. Love that card. Expedition Mewtwo Holo. They're all my favorite cards because they're all Mewtwo and they're all vintage. It's so hard to answer that question always. I mean, I can sit here and probably name like 50 of my top favorite holos from even like the Wizards of the Coast era. Ancient Mew, I have it. This card's got a lipped corner on it. You can probably see that easily. I have it in my Black Star promo section of my binder. It's not technically a Black Star promo. Oh, Japanese Gym is good. I kind of want to go back. Yeah, this card's got a bunch of issues. I want to go back and do all the sets again in Japanese one day because of all the like exclusive artworks too. All right, well, there's no fixing these creases and bent corner while we're at it here, so this card was just going to get another quick wipe down. What gym challenge cards did you pick up? Get a Mewtwo? A Japanese Pokédex? So are you talking about all 1,000 plus, or are you talking about just like the original 150, 151? And just in Japanese, I'm assuming here? No English cards? 1025, you are doing a full Pokédex. All right. All right, Articuno, clean hollow, still has a bent corner and some creases in it. So how would you condition this? At the end of the day, how are you gonna condition a card that looks great? It still has damage on it, so do you deem this like HP damaged? I mean, I would call that damage. Those are creases. Lipped corner there, lipped corner in here. It's all the main spots on this card. Otherwise, whitening's minimum but still present. Yep, HP damaged. I'm just gonna write damage on it. If he wants to do anything further with that card, he can. But I mean, what is a Fossil Unlimited Articuno worth in like HP damaged to, let's say, I mean, the card's gonna get mod play at best. Even if like if the crease is gone, I mean, those creases in the middle aren't gonna be gone. It's gonna be mod play at best. I mean, you're talking the difference between 10, 15 bucks to 20 bucks, I'm going to assume here. Machoke, Alakazam, Rhydon, Gary, Scyther. Oh, all the ones you just got in Japanese. The Rocket Scyther is by far one of my favorite cards too. Or Scyther's in Gym Heroes. It's not in Gym Challenge. Or is it different on the Japanese side? Primeape, what's up, dude? Getting late over there. I actually thought about you earlier because I was like, hey, I'm starting the stream earlier in the day. So anyone over across the lake there, across the pond, can watch it. Annoyed. Oh, you didn't realize. Dude, I'm telling you, sometimes like YouTube doesn't send out the notifications that I'm live. People that I know that are subscribed, sub, notifications on, have straight up told me they have not gotten them when I've gone live before. I don't know if it's because I'm inconsistent and don't have a set schedule or what. But entire United States is basically shut down today because of the snowstorm, so I had nothing better to do, and I needed to get all these cards done. Just a... I'm not a miracle worker here. I can't fix all this whitening, and I just got a stack of just banged up, beat up cards to clean. Half of these you're better off just doing as is. I have no idea if he discloses to anyone if he ends up selling these cards or what. If they've been touched or cleaned or anything. I love this card. Also Dragonite and all the colors in the background. I mean, that is like a peak nostalgia card right there. Hey man, rather be late than not show up at all. So long story short, I'm cleaning up a pile. This pile alone I think was like 30 cards or 25 cards. all just early WotC stuff. There's only a couple cards left in this stack before we get into the other stack. None of these are mine. They all belong to a local friend who, a lot of this, from my understanding, is from his childhood collection and cards he's just bought over the years. He is also doing kind of like not full master sets, but like all the early, everything through Neo. I think he's doing everything through Neo currently, and he needs a lot of these cards for the binders, so he just wanted me to give them all a once over, clean up anything that he already has, because there are duplicates, because he wants to choose whatever version's better in these stacks for his stuff or his binders, and then he's going to sell or trade off the rest of them. So I am just going quick. Some of these cards have ended up a lot better as far as like dirt and grime and stuff coming off. Some of the hollows have looked better. Some of the hollows have looked exactly the same because they've been chewed up 100 times with, looks like, razor blades and dog teeth. But overall, they're getting slightly better. I just don't have the greatest cards to work with here. That, and I've stated multiple times, for time's sake, I'm not going to be doing 15, 20 minutes per card trying to make it perfect, especially when they're all mod play, heavy play cards. Now there are, in the next stack, once we get through all these early WotC ones, there are some Cosmo Hollow cards that I know for a fact he's putting in binders, and there's some Neo double hollows in there, and those should see pretty substantial changes. Like, you get in the right light, you're still going to see a lot of the old scratching. But you get it from the right angle here, especially when it's sitting in a sleeve in a binder. Card's going to look great. It's going to be a great binder card. And that's all we're looking for, hoping for at the end of the day here. That, stated earlier, like a lot of the black dots that are all the dirt and grime that end up in the border, that's always pretty unsightly when it's in a binder. I mean, this card's just literally cooked. There's no point even like wiping down the backside. So if he's going to choose one to keep and one to trade off and sell, I'm going to assume he's going to keep the right side here. That's super heavy play. I mean, this one's still mod play, pushing heavy play with the amount of whitening. Both hollows were pretty about the same as far as the amount of scratches. So this one definitely is going to look better than this one. I mean, that's just rough. But this is some of the stuff in the next stack. These will do first there. Dirt and grime on the border right there. Hollow just needs a little spit shine. A lot of white speckling on the left side of this one. Might be dust or dirt on the card. We'll see if that cleans up. Keeps moving out of frame. Using card care. All the products here are Kurtz. I haven't really been using the recovery much. That's for like more to try to get the finer scratches out. But I'm just not seeing much of a point here on all these cards that are HP cards anyways. Right now, I just want to see if all that white comes off the left side of this card. and we're using the card cleaner stuff. 1 or 2 sprays on a microfiber round, and then you're just using wet and dry, wet and dry. So all these little tiny white specks are coming off with a tiny bit of pressure and just a little bit of dampness. You're not really rubbing any type of cleaner product into the card itself. You don't want to saturate the siding. You don't want to saturate the ink. Right now, we're just doing super light cleaning. But all those little white dots that were sitting on the left border there all came off with just a tiny bit of pressure. One more right there I need to work on. That's whitening. So yeah, all those white dots are already gone. Sometimes it's super hard to get the ones that are right on the border, because you don't want to go up and down into the border itself, because you can lip the border and then create more whitening. So you're going to want to be super smooth, like either brush stroke out off the card, or if you're staying on the card, go up and down if you're this way, but don't try to go left or right into it, and you don't want to be eating the side of the card when wiping a border. PSA claims they can pick it up. I know multiple cards that have been sent to PSA that have been wiped down, cleaned down, hollow shined, and never kicked back once. So, short answer is I have no idea. They claim they can do it. They claim they can tell if a card's been cleaned or altered. Now, I know there's definitely ways when you say, or if I just said like altered, you can kind of tell when, let's say they try to touch up the whitening. You put ink there and it's standing out from the rest. That's an altered card. They're definitely can tell when it's altered. Cleaning stuff, not usually. Now, I don't know what methods they're using. I don't know what they're doing when they're grading your card to even attempt to try to say it's cleaned or not cleaned. So, end of the day, I don't know 100% for certain. But a lot of my like Mewtwo PSA 1s on the walls, especially all the ones with Cosmo Hollows, the card is physically destroyed. There's creases and stuff all over it, but I have cleaned the hollows, so the hollows will shine in the slab, even though it's getting a PSA 1. And they've never detected that before, so I'm not saying clean cards and send them in for grading and see if they get a better grade or a worse grade or what. I would just do everything you do with caution. Because they will charge you, I guess, if it's altered, that they deem it. You're paying for the grade, and they're sending you back the raw card. A lot of that top left smudging is gone. Might be a little bit more right there. Funnier thing is that Gengar, the Masaki Gengar that I got over here, the bending one. This was sent to PSA. It just came back like a week or two ago, and they deemed this card altered. Short answer is I have no idea why. They would not grade it. They said it was altered. This card was not cleaned. This card was now okay. Let me take it back. This card was not cleaned prior to him giving it to me to send to PSA. None of these cards were mine. I sent them in just because I'm one of the only ones in the friend group with like the PSA subscription. So this card was sent back saying it was altered, and he bought this. I want to say this was I don't remember, like a Beckett 5 or a 6 that this was broken out of, and it was broken out and then sent to PSA, and PSA said it was altered when Beckett had already graded it, but never was touched with anything, was not cleaned, was not wiped down, was not physically anything. They just said it was altered. But it also comes down to say, who knows for sure what happened in its previous life? Maybe it was clean before it was sent into Beckett. Beckett didn't spot it if they're using some type of technology to detect it or not, and then PSA did spot it. I have no idea. Yeah, it was, and there was only like because that was that was an expensive tier because of the value of the cards, and there was a more cards, and there was like five I think in that order, and the other five were cards that were, I know for a fact, were cleaned prior to sending in, just like a wipe down like this, and none of those cards were kicked back. And the only card in that order that was not cleaned or touched with any type of cleaning product or chemical, again to my knowledge, was kicked back and said altered. Just gives the whole hollow nice shiny look. Oh yeah, the Rocket Scyther, Rocket Scyther's leader stadium. Yeah, because how is Japanese when it comes to gym? How is that broken out? How many is there? Only there's more than two sets, right? Because it's almost all of the leaders have their own sets, and they're much smaller sets, I believe. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you had a piece of dirt you got off with a damp cotton ball and it got an 8, it might have gotten a 6 or a 7 if you had sent it in with a piece of dirt. So I'm all for just wiping down the card and getting whatever off. Now, I am 100% against anything that's considered altering, as in rounding off the corners more, removing or adding anything to the actual card stock itself. I'm not going to be trimming edges or rounding corners or painting the blue in the background with the whitening. Like, there's no fixing the lightning. At least to me, that's it. That's never going to be fixed. There is no way to remove prior damage to a card. Now, bends and creases are a different story. I've definitely seen success from a lot of people with creases. Um, Bends are a lot easier. Stuff that like is a physical bend that's not actually like breaking the actual coloring or the ink of the card is kind of easy to get out when you have like a little humidor box and it's just some flattening plates and weight or books, things like that, just to flatten it out over time, overall like a couple days. But creases, like one of those cards earlier, I think it was this Articuno. If you remember, it had multiple creases in there, and the card itself is split, so it's showing the whitening underneath there. There's no fixing that. Gotta give it that mirror looking finish. All right, we got two cards left in the first stack. Magneton, Fossil, some smudging on the border. A lot of smudging on the border on this one. And all that's just grime. All that will wipe right off the card. But that's what graders see. Grab one of my sticks. It's easier to point on this. Yeah, it makes the hollow look incredible. Alright, so on this one, we're going to do a full face clean down. Try to get all these smudging off the sides, smudging on the face. Backside's not horrible. Tiny bit of whitening there and there and there. A little discoloration right there in the border. You can't fix that. Alright, fresh round, fresh spray. And usually light pressure, just a little dampness on the cotton round here. All of that grime we're looking at usually wipes right off. Yeah, Primate. Hopefully we hit 10K sooner than later. We'll see. There's no real goal here. The goal is to hit it, but in no amount of time frame. I just hit 10K on Instagram earlier this week, so that was really cool. Jeremy, I'm using Kurtz on everything here. So they have a kit. I probably should have linked it down below. But Kurtz Car Care Cleaning Kit with the polish, the recovery, and the cleaning spray is what we're using here. And all of the cleaning tools I just get off Amazon. They are super cheap. All right, border. Does it look any better? Now I'm trying to see if that smudging is like into the hollow or it's damage on the card. A lot came off, but a lot of residue still there. I'm just going to do another quick little pass with the tool. Still having issues getting it off. I'll polish the front of the hollow and then polish into the card itself and see if that helps. It's near, like if I'm holding it like a couple feet from my face, it's near impossible to see. But just with the combination of the LED light I have right here and then the zoom on the camera, it's picking up a lot of stuff that the naked eye cannot see as much. However, this is also what they're looking at when you actually grade a card, so this is the way you want to look at it and try to figure out what's wrong with your card, because you've been looking at your card like this and you can see absolutely nothing. Do I use Collector? Yeah, I started using Collector. I put all my sealed and some of my slabs in the Collector. But it's so difficult for adding sets in there that I never went and added all my my master sets or any of the sets I'm working on. The main app I typically use is just Dex, because all I really want to track is just my what cards I need for sets. I'm never really too concerned with the overall values of the cards or anything. 90% of the time, I don't sell anything I have. Is anyone else using Collector or Rare Candy or any of the main apps? Actually, I think the polished helped a little bit with the smudging and the borders. Still slightly there, but like I said, when I'm looking at it like not under the camera and under the light, or even just like holding it up to my face, like looking at it like this, you cannot tell it's there. It's only just the way the light's refracting off of it underneath the card is how I'm able to pick up a couple of spots that are on there. But not going overboard, not really going to worry about it. It's a super clean card. It's a great binder copy. We're moving on. Oh yeah, the Rocket Scyther, yeah, and Gym Heroes, still a great artwork. Uh, I'm binder copy here too, but I do clean the dirt and everything off the cards to go into my binders, and they look so much better when flipping through them. Dude, Primate, just follow me on Collector. Let me. How do you send friend requests in here? It's Grim Horizon TV, so I literally have no idea how to become friends with somebody in here. I have 6 followers apparently, and I don't know how I got any of those followers. Social button? Following. Okay, you can search for users and hashtag. All right, yeah, search me. I'm just Grim Horizon TV, and tell me if that pulls up in Collector. Should be same logo, same everything. Or Primeape, is your social for Collector the same? No, there's no underscore prime. Yeah, that's I am on Collector, right? Yeah, I'm on Collector. You got it. I believe in you. There's a lot of good stuff in Rare Candy too. I kind of wanted to update my Rare Candy and see where that was going, because that's got pretty real solid pricing when it comes to a lot of the vintage. I started putting all the vintage in the Rare Candy side, but it's just so tedious adding every single card. What is it? A7? P5XX. Yep, I found you. And now you're on blast. Now we can see what you got, Primate. I like that Karen's Umbreon in a 7. Let's crack it open. Alright. Last card in the first stack. Did you grade that, Karen's Umbreon? A little bit of white. And you know what it is. That one was just a piece of dust floating on there. That one was a piece of dust. That one does not want to come off. Alright. All the white in the border is gone now. That's just whitening. Bought it raw for 40. How many years ago was that? I bought like an LP near mint copy 2 or 3 years ago for Holly, and I paid $200 for it. You had to have had that Karen's Umbreon for quite some time. The Darkrai to get a 10 is pretty strong for sending in. It was 40 in 2020. I swear I bought mine in like 21 or 22, and it was like 200 already. And I thought I was spending too much on it then. What's it even worth in a 7 now? Alright, all 23 cards of the first stack are done. May 16th, 2020. So that was right after COVID started, right before the boom, more or less. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is a double hollow Blissey. Big swirl on it. Pretty scratched up hollow. Dirty on the backside. Just not one of these cards is clean. Black spots all over it. Like, look how bad the actual Pokeball is. This is one of those ones I might spend a little bit more time with to clean up nicer. Well, let's just do the front right now. And we're going to go full recovery, wipe down everything on this card. We're going to try to... I know for a fact this one's going in his binder, because he's doing a full Neo, like, double hollow collection. So let's get this one trying to look as best as possible. Yeah, much happier days buying Karen's Umbreon for $40. Do wet dry here. Did I do any Machamps? I do not think so. These are all the cards we've already cleaned so far in the stream. Yeah, no Machamps, mainly just jungle and fossil cards. Coming up, I got these. Not a single Machamp. There's a vending Gengar. That's kind of neat. I can just tell this card is dirty. It just looks hazy looking at it. All right, a lot of the scratches are vertical up and down. So we're going to go horizontal swipes on this one a lot to try to fill them in. So I am using recovery on this first. My nozzle broke, so I'm just dipping into the straight to the bottle. We're going to do a little more time on this one. We're probably going to do 2 or 3 passes of recovery. And then a couple passes of the polish. Get a clean round for this one. I appreciate it, Primate. Yeah, all I put in there, I mainly was using what did you just have me on collector? I was putting collector for getting a ballpark idea of what my sealed collection was worth at the time. And then I ended up putting um my starting to put some of my slabs in there to just get an overall general. But I quit. I still have a lot to go. So this is why your notifications are silenced. Card source. Oh, yeah. What up, Tyler? Yeah, did you text me? I forgot my notifications were silenced. Responding now. Yeah, we're doing a full-on cleaning session here. All right, that is 2 passes of recovery on Blissey. Trying to see if it looks any better yet. Definitely shinier. The swirl's popping more. Just so many. These cards are just beat. That's what they are at the end of the day. This is a big pile of beat up cards. I'm gonna do one more on the recovery and then do the polish and call it a day on this one. Definitely a crazy swirl. Super nice copy. It's gonna be a beautiful binder copy. It's getting better. The more you use the recovery, the better it looks. It is just a time consuming thing, so take your time with it, clean off the surface, go again at it. What are you up to, Card Source? We're gonna play some Halo later? Better, worse? What are we thinking? Do not ask me my thoughts on the Logan Paul swapping halfway through a live auction. That is the sketchiest thing. If I was a bidder and I was a high bidder on that, that is no longer what I'm bidding on. You have one of the most OG cards that A is not a 10, and then you swap it from the old school label to a new label without anyone's consent, otherwise freaking Golden saying, "Oh, you wouldn't want the buyer thinking they need to do it," or blah blah blah. That is just some sketchy clown work. And I rather would have had the old label than the new label if I even wanted that card. Would love to have that card raw. Will never happen. But I don't want a fake PSA 10 either, especially with the history on that card. Yeah, just madness. Clown work, all of the above. Who's to say it's the same card now? Who's to say they didn't try to alter it? So the next owner can't say, hey, why does it have all this whitening on the backside? If it doesn't match 100% the old scans and certs, which they've probably already deleted, and luckily a million people have already taken pictures of them and screenshots, but I wouldn't want anything to do with that card. I would say we're better. Again, not getting every damn swirl out of this freaking chewed up sandpaper copy, but definitely better. There's so many scratches on it. You're flipping through a binder, that's all you're going to see right there is just the hollow and the swirl pop up. Forgot about the 80 little black dots on the backside of this card. Collection goals. Collection goal number 1 is to get the Card Source Tennessee to give me my Gengar from Expedition. I'm not gonna spend a ton of time with it, but a bunch of those bigger black dots came out of the backside here. But yeah, he's got the last card for my Expedition Master Set. I still do not have it complete. It is not in my hands. It is not in my binder. Bought a bunch of Kurt stuff, humidors, etc. Too nervous. Ordinary. Just literally practice on stuff you don't care about. Take an energy card, like an old beat up dirty energy card. Practice on that. Find an old Cosmo Holo that just is worthless, like a $1 card. Practice on that. Find dirty bent cards and start working on those if you throw them in the humidor and try to flatten them out over time. The amount of scratches on these is just kind of sad. Like I've been saying all stream, less is more. Use less product, use less pressure, use less of everything, and then just do it multiple times, and your results will be good, and you have far less risk of actually damaging the card itself. Like, I might look like I'm going fast, but it's also because I've cleaned a metric shit ton of cards over the years, and I'm also doing super light pressure with my strokes. Like, it's kind of hard to see. It might look in the stream like I'm going heavy, but I'm just doing light pressure, light strokes, making sure nothing gets damaged any further than it actually is. You let the applicator do the gliding. And then kind of hard to see, but I have swapped out the microfibers multiple times. I got a big dirty pile here. Usually use it a few times, flip it inside out, use the inside. Because this is picking up some dirt and debris, the stuff you cannot see on the card. It's taking it with it, but you don't want to just keep rubbing that back into the card either. Into the next card even. I mean, it instantly makes the hollows pop. But the scratches are just nuts on these. Absence does make the heart grow fonder. I do want that Gengar very badly right now. Because the second I get it, I can actually do an Expedition Master Set video too. That was collection goal number 1, Prime, is to get that one card. But I do only need 7 more cards to finish my Legendary Collection Master Set too. I found one last week at a local show. Dude gave me an awesome deal on it, so I went from 8 to 7 a week ago. Hopefully I can just find the rest at cons. And then move on to Aquapolis and start tracking down all the reverses I need for Aquapolis. If I can somehow work a deal and get a Crystal Charizard knocked off the list for Skyridge, that would be amazing. But I'm going to assume I'm going to have to bring a lot of stuff to trade. What about you? Are you looking for anything this year, Primate? Alright, let's check out this bad boy. He said make this one look good. I'm going to assume because it's bad. It's bad. There are so many fine scratches on this. The iPhone I have plugged in here to do the like the hand recording. Y'all can see this pretty well right on the stream, like the amount of scratches. Like it does a pretty good job showing the condition of the holo. Like it almost does too good a job. You cannot see that amount of scratches by just holding it up to your face and looking at it in the light versus like under an LED with a zoomed in camera view. So I would call this one like light play minus mod play plus. Realistically pushing more mod play because the holo's cooked. Front side looks clean though. Back side definitely has some whitening on there, but not as bad as some of these other cards are. Right side is pretty chipped up and cooked. I mean, I would call this mod play all day. Let's see if we can get the holo looking any better. No real plan. Start to sell some slabs. I mean, I feel that on selling the slabs. Yeah, 10K in slabs. Just get it down. I'm still contemplating selling every slab I own. If people want to pay stupid money for slabs in the market, be my guest. I'll sell them all and then one day buy them back if I ever want to, but realistically, I just probably won't even do slabs anymore and just stick to raw vintage. If you can make a couple bucks, might as well do that and spend that on other cards you want now. Or just life. No shame selling cards to fund other projects. Past one with recovery is better. I'm going to do 2 or 3 on this one for sure. This is a double hollow shining magic heart. Appreciate everyone just chilling and hanging out. I mean, wasn't going to be a super exciting stream, but hopefully pretty beneficial knowledge-wise to anyone that has any interest in this. I even figured I'd get some unfollows by doing this for people that don't like it. Pikachu World Championship promo and a 10 for 350. Are you talking about the one with like the non-hollow Pikachu with like the Mew in the background? That card's 350 and a 10? Oh, the 2023 with the Miraidon and Crydon, gotcha. Spit on it, that is might. Hey Primate, where do you ship your cards when you need to grade? Do you have a does PSA have a facility over there? Are you shipping them to the States or what? Honestly, I think this Magikarp's a lot better than how it started 5 minutes ago. The double hollow is popping. Doing acrylic painting on canvas. Looks like an owl that ate a large amount of mushrooms. Probably bugged out owl. Eyes huge. Do I know how to get creases out? Yeah. Now, depends on your definition of crease or what you're trying to get out. Cards that have bends in them are pretty easy. I do not mess with creases or just don't have the know-how to get where they break the ink, where it breaks the stock of the card. and you have a visible crease and you have the white in it because you're already through all the layers of the ink there and it's split open. Obviously, there's no fixing or having that come back from the grave. I mean, overall, this Magikarp's a lot better than how it started. A bunch of those scratches. It's never going to be perfect, but the hollow's popping now versus what it was. But I have a humidor box. I have clamps. I have flattening plates. I've gotten a lot of the easier bends and stuffs out. All right, so you are shipping to the States. Aren't they building a facility over there though? I heard that like maybe within the last year. Yeah, exactly. Europe's getting a PSA office. You're a Magic guy, play competitive. That's pretty cool. Collecting. I mainly collect. I don't grade a lot. None of these cards are getting graded either. A lot of these are going into my. Every single card is actually one person's. They're not mine. And all these cards are going into his. He's doing vintage master sets, and he just keeps buying cards and wants me to do a little spit shine on them first before he puts them into the binder. A lot of these duplicates I know he is going to sell or trade off, and he's just picking the better copies. But he's doing a full double hollow for Neo Discovery and Genesis Revelation there. So this was the double hollow he picked up for his binder. And it looks a lot better than how it did a minute ago, and that's all he's looking for. So, but the creases question, it definitely takes practice. It takes time. You can also mess it up in a humidor. You can get too much moisture on a card. You can get it to curl up too much. There's a little bit of a learning curve there as well that you just want to practice and just don't mess it up. Or don't be afraid to mess it up, because when you do mess it up, you learn from the mess up. But don't mess up on an expensive card. Mess up on the practice cards. Like, don't practice on a first edition Gengar from Fossil. Ton of scratches in the hollow, as per usual. A lot of whitening, dirt, debris. I mean, the price tag says $215 mod play. I would call this mod play all day long, if not starting to push heavy play. I mean, that's just a lot of whitening. Bottom's bad. All four corners are bad. Would you guys call this heavy play or mod play? A lot of scratches. That, when you start seeing a lot of foiling on the side, there you go. Like, there's no fixing that. The entire side's been chipped up. Yeah, no problem for the advice. Yeah, I mean, anyone can look at the hobby 16 different ways, and they all do different things. Like, I saw that one reel. I think I reshared it like weeks ago. It was the one dude who's got like a max rarity deck with every single, like, the most expensive versions of the card. It's probably a couple $1,000 deck, and he's out there with no sleeves, shuffle bending it, and not giving a fuck because he's playing competitively. Thoughts on selling a bunch of mid-air cards you can easily buy back for a grail? Do it all day. Whatever your gut tells you, I always say just do it. If it's a bunch of stuff you can easily replace for a card that you cannot easily replace, get the card, especially if you're getting it through trade. If you're getting a big card that you know you're in cheap on a bunch of cards that you do like that are your PC or were your PC, but you know you can trade out of them to get even a better card and have a big come up when it comes to the values of those cards too, do it all day. Why not do it? Especially if it's a 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, $50 card that you can get back in the future. And you might be able to get it back in the future cheaper than how you got it now, depending on what the value of the card is now. Quick job, just quick clean down. Magic the Gathering's fun. I used to play Magic as a kid. You think kids think you're a wizard? I still have my main Magic deck from when I was a kid. It's a Mirror artifact deck from literally early 2000s. Probably like 2003, 2004 is when I was playing at school. But I haven't really played Commander, any of the new styles. I mean, that's missing a chunk in the paint right there. Binder cards don't have to be near mint. You can do master sets damaged. Collect, like Primate just said, all the different ways you can do the hobby, and there's so many ways you can do the exact same thing in the hobby and not care. Somebody might only want a near mint first edition copy if they're doing jungle, and somebody might take a damaged unlimited copy for $5 and be literally just as happy. You got a Final Fantasy. Oh, you got a Cloud Commander deck from Final Fantasy? I can't imagine that being cheap with the prices of some of the Final Fantasy product. No, 80's not bad at all. To build an entire deck out. But Magic's fun. Magic is a lot of fun to play, at least. There's no fixing any of that. Primate, I just hope they don't. I honestly think serialized English cards will destroy the hobby even more than it is so already. Like, what am I cleaning these cards with? No joke. Always use moonshine. I would not use moonshine for the alcoholic content alone. Alcohol can eat through the ink. Using all Kurtz. So Kurtz Card Care, the polish. It's their full cleaning kit. Recovery. This is more for so the scratches. You do recovery first, usually like 2 to 3 passes. If you're doing like a full breakdown, I would say do 2-3 passes of recovery. Easily like 2 passes of polish. And you start with the spray, which is going to be your moonshine here. Your alcoholic mix content to try to lift the dirt and debris off the cards. Take stock in these. You need tons of these. Clean your workspace often. Well, I did have the where's the full pup? I did have the full vintage box out if anyone wanted to need help with any vintage sets, but wasn't a single request today, so probably for the best because I don't even have the desk space to pull that up here right now. I think we just got 30-something cards done and cleaned over the last 3 hours. All right. Anything else anyone wants to talk about or ask or anything? I'm probably gonna jump off here, go get all the polish off my hands, and take a little dinner break. At this point, it's already 8 o'clock. Still got about 20 cards to clean tonight. Tattoo is hurting here. Hard to see, but my entire chest had all the background work done, all the blues and everything. But it's been better. It'll heal up. Another week and a half. It just started peeling today. The Sanoderm's off of it. So it's peeling, it's itchy, it does not feel great. $5 for some near mint magnetons from Surging Spark sounds pretty good. I didn't. $5 sounded kind of cheap. You're the guy at the car shop that hated the sleeves. But yeah, I'm going to jump off here. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Hopefully we learned something or didn't learn something or liked cleaning or hated cleaning. At the end of the day, no one can tell you what to do with your cardboard. All right, Primate, later. See you, Tony. Appreciate everyone hanging out and chilling. Appreciate all the likes, the comments. And we will see you in the next one. And hopefully the next video comes out soon. Thanks.